Oh, in game. Whoop.
Ah.
There we go.
So I'm
Today's video is entitled Stealing for Fun and Profit. Gonna explain the basics of stealing, the advanced techniques, add-ons that we use, or we find useful for the subject.
it's his fault.
There's a few different add-ons out there, but I don't find that all of them are necessary for stealing. You don't have to have any add-ons. Some of them add a little bit of convenience. Some of them are a little more difficult to use than others. But basically, when we're talking about add-ons, the ones that I do have that I like is Fence Data and Junk Buster. Now, Junk Buster is not specifically an add-on pertaining to stealing, yet it gives you the ability, if you go into settings and then you click down here on add-ons, you'll be able to go down to Junk Buster. And this is what a lot of people like about it, is the rules. And the rules are that you can keep the color of the item that you want. Now, the color of the item that you want is pertaining to the price that you sell it to the fence. So a white item is usually worth 40 gold, as a blue would be worth 250. A purple is going to be worth 1500. It's been a long time since I got a gold item. Can't even remember what they go for. The purples are, you hardly get purples. You get a lot of blues, a lot of greens, and a lot of whites. So once again, whites sell for 40 gold, greens sell for 100 gold, blues sell for 250 gold. Now when you try to sell a blue item, it is going to pop up a window that says, are you sure? Never understood the window. I always say yes, because it really has no other importance in the game other than as an item to be sold to the fence for gold. Now, there's a lot of people that have asked me, why steal? Why are you stealing? Stealing's bad. Stealing's wrong. Okay, that's true, but it's not true, because technically these are all just ones and zeros. It's all binary code. You know, you're stealing an item because you need gold in game, and getting gold in game is really hard. Okay, so here I popped open a bag. We got the pale ring pouch. Now you see right here, it's showing you that it is a stolen item by the red ring around it, but it tells you that its value is 40 gold coins, and the type of treasure that it is. So you can see right here that I'm standing. That's not good. We hit control, we go into hidden mode, and it's showing that someone is kind of possibly aware because the eye is not completely closed, but that way we know we're not going to get caught. I hit R, it goes into my inventory. Now if I had the variables set up in the Junk Buster, it would automatically take that white item worth 40 coins and it would mark it as junk, or it would destroy it depending on how you had it set up. So this is how you steal. You just go around, you find items. Now this is another opportunity here, because if you get up close to her, I can pickpocket her. Now each person holds 3 items. Now if you wait till the ding or till it turns green, shows you 100%, because you're not always going to have 100% success. My technique is to wait until it gets 100% hit it, and then on the third one, we just use the Blade of Woe, and then we just pickpocket the body. That way there's less chances of getting caught, because the more that you pickpocket, the lower the percentage goes. Mine starts out as 100%, and you're asking why mine is not 100%. Okay, well let's pop open the window here, and we will go to World. Look at Ledger Domain. Ledger Domain, I've heard it pronounced a hundred ways. I say Ledgerman. Here we go. We got 50% by playing all 4 points in light fingers. And you'll notice that my Ledgerman is maxed out at 20. So it's going to give me 50% more than other people. Now, these are important when you're stealing as far as hiding. You want your sneak to be the cost of your sneak, which means you're going to be using stamina when you're sneaking. If you run out of stamina, you can't sneak anymore and you'll stand up. Light fingers, again, we talked about that. This could be pickpocketing. All 4 points is the best. The number of fence interactions you can get each day. Okay, this one's where it gets confusing for trafficking. It says by 180%, and what that means is when you first start selling items to the fence down in the Outlaws Refuge, you're limited. I think you get like 60 or 80 at first, and then when you put a point in there, it goes up by another 20 or 40, and eventually it's going to get all the way up to max, which is 140. That's with all 4 points in trafficking. Locksmith, that improves your chance of forcing locks. Now, forcing locks means simply that. You are forcing a lock instead of having to spend the time on picking your lock. And we'll give you a demonstration right here. We go up here to this door. We'll hit E. And now you can see that I have to pick the lock by that. But if I hit R, I can force the lock open, which means I didn't have to pick it. I bypassed the whole step. Now we can come in here, we wait till our eyeball to close. Sometimes it's very difficult to get the eyeball to close. You have to move around. You have to find a spot where they cannot see you. So somebody's looking at you here, which could very well be this girl back here.
Do I have to summon a guard?
So you can find all kinds of corners, ways to face to the corner, face into the back wall. That usually works for me. I got 100%, boom. I can pickpocket her. Now I got a white on him, that's worth 40 coins. See, now I'm at 70% chance, I'm at 90. I got a 20% boost, waiting, and now I can just do the Blade of Woe. Now, Blade of Woe can get you caught if someone sees you, but you can see that this divider, the other person in this room here, was not aware that happened, so I didn't get any bounty. Again, I'm at 80%, I'm at 100, boom.
How do you get the Blade of Woe?
That's a good question. Why don't you explain that to him? This is Kat Knighton. She's going to explain the Blade of Woe.
Oh, I have to explain it? Oh, jeez. Okay. So, the Blade of Woe you get from the Dark Brotherhood questline, right?
Yep.
Now, was it in the Gold Coast that you start the quest?
Yes.
So you just gotta find, what's her name? Not Arenthia. Wasn't it something with an A?
You know, I'm horrible with the names. I always call her that girl that's down there underneath the awning by the water. People usually find
So you
it
actually
easy.
start it from her though, right? You
Yeah.
gotta find her down by the water, or do you,
You go to the Gold Coast, if I remember correctly, and she's like leaning on a wall, and that's going to let you start the coast thing. I mean, the coast thing, the Dark Brotherhood skill line, and then it's going to direct you to go kill an innocent or something like that. It says it's not very difficult. You just run behind some of the buildings. There's usually 3 or 4 people hanging out. You kill one of them. It's not going to be sneaky. You don't get the Blade of Woe yet. Basically, you just got to eliminate them. You go back and you try to find her. She's gone, and then there's a messenger that comes running up to you down by the water in the boats, in the same close to the spot that you saw her leaning on the wall. And this is going to allow you to be directed to what is his name?
Yeah.
I completely just
remember
spaced on
that.
his name. He's got one of these spooky, scary sounding names. Can't remember his name, but he's over in the lighthouse, which is basically across the water. You swim over, you go in there, and he is going to give you the Blade of Woe, and then it starts a quest for the Jarl's thing. This guy, governor, and the Jarl are in cahoots, and they're stealing things. You want to get it all the lore specifically, but if you're into it, it's a interesting story. Now, I remember when I was a noob and I did that quest, you could make 10, 15,000 stealing everything down there. I specifically upped the size of my inventory just to go back down there a few times and not complete the quest and just steal everything that's down there because there are so many containers. It's ridiculous, and that's kind of where I decided, oh wow, this stealing thing is pretty cool.
Oh, it was with an A. It's like Amelia, like
Yeah, that sounds
Amelie,
familiar.
Amelia Crow, but like with an E
Yeah, that's
at
it.
the end.
Okay,
And
so
you kill an innocent in Anvil, and then eventually the messenger guy, like you said, comes running up to you. So you talk to the messenger, and I think he's gonna have you travel to the Anvil Lighthouse.
yeah,
Because I remember, I think you have to cross the bridge, otherwise I think the those vicious fish, those what are they called? Not piranhas.
slaughterfish. Yeah, you can swim across the
Slaughterfish.
water straight from where the person, the messenger runs up to you. It's always down. It's, I call it a
So there
little
wasn't slaughterfish?
cove.
I thought I remember there being slaughterfish.
No, I just did it recently on my nude and got refreshed with it. So I don't
And
remember
then
there
I think
being.
there's somebody called a speaker tenorist.
That's his name, the speaker. He's the guy with the spooky name I was talking about. So basically, the speaker is going to give you the quest, and he gives you the Blade of Woe as soon as you go and speak with him. And I've gone through all aspects of
Yeah.
the quests and the answers to the quest because
Oh,
he asks you
the
different
quest.
questions.
It's called Voices in the Dark.
Yeah, that's it. And then the Blade of Woe is not 100% something that you need for stealing. It just becomes more convenient because if you're pickpocketing somebody 3 times, you have a really high chance of getting caught on the third time. So I steal the first and the second,
Yeah.
and then instead of pickpocketing the third time, I just Blade of Woe 'em, and then I loot the dead body.
There's a difference between pickpocketing and stealing, though. So if you're gonna
Yeah,
pickpocket a lot, the Blade of Woe is really handy. If you're just thieving, not so much.
yeah,
Again, it's DLC though, right? In order to get that quest.
yeah. It's DLC, but they do have the free weekends where you can try the ESO Plus for free.
Oh, there you are.
I think we got one coming up in November. Somebody just mentioned to me, but get it, don't get it. It's not something that you definitely need to have for Sting, especially if you're going the route with non-DLC. Okay, now I'm pickpocketing this mercenary soldiers. People call them guards all the time. You can see the percentage jumping up and down from 70 to 90. It was at 80 to 100. The next one will be 60 to 80. So if I wait till 90, I can get it. But see, some people ask me all the time, well, how are you getting 90%? And I explain that about the points in the passives under the Ledgerman, but
Oh,
some
hey,
people still
free stuff.
don't quite get it. So because she was in the group with me and she was by when I used the Blade of Wool on this person, she was able to loot the body too. That's why she said free stuff.
Yeah. Also, make sure you're crouching when you take it, because it's still stealing, even
Yeah.
though he.
Yes. Just because you see a yellow around a body, you walk up to it and you steal it. If somebody sees you, boom, you got a bounty. And if it's a guard here, they will chase you.
You
And
can change that in the settings, though. You can, it won't automatically loot the body if it's a stolen item.
yeah,
If you have it so in the settings. I think it's like that automatically, but you
yeah.
can change
She's
it to
talking about
auto
here
loot
in
anyways.
settings under gameplay. Down here, there will be auto loot right here. Auto loot is on, and auto loot stolen items is off. Because if you just look, if you click on the body and look into it and don't take it automatically or press R to take it, you don't get a bounty. But if you know that there's something there you want, then you can crouch, wait till nobody's seen you, your eyeballs closed, then you can take it. So we turn auto loot stolen items off. So once again, this is under gameplay, which is under the settings tab. So another thing to know about stealing is that you're going to get caught.
Yeah.
Don't get ticked off, don't get depressed, don't be like, oh, this is too hard. And I'm going to give you an example right here. I'm going to get caught by this guard, and it's going to give me bounty. Now, I'm going to wait for 100% because I'm going to take at least 2 items. But on these guys that are always right here, these are some of the more difficult to get. And I'm going to explain another reason why it's a little bit easier for me. And on this tune specifically, see, 90%, boom, no problem. Now the next one's going to be 60, and then when it hits green, it'll be 80%. But let's do it at 60. And see how I got caught? Now they're going to chase me. Okay, you can bounce out of it, but this is a little technique that I use. I'm going to run down here to the water. I'm going to get in the water. They can't chase you into the water. They will stop. They will come down to the edge of the river sometimes and then do this little frustrated emote where they stomp their feet or scream. But then you're safe. Now you notice I have a
What
92.
about the guys that chain you though? Can they pull you
Yeah,
out of the water?
now that's a guard. Now I have bounty, so if we go up here to a guard, they won't. They try to lock you up, but it's not always going to happen. Now the guard's right here.
Surrender, villain.
Now
Can I call you that?
you'll notice the
Do you
second
prefer scandal?
option here is clemency. I have powerful friends. My bounty has already been covered. Okay, or you can select flee. Now I hit
Must
flee.
insist you surrender.
And I'm running. He's going to chain me. Boom. He's got me. But you can dive roll out of that. Again, if you come down here and you come down into the water, he's still close enough to keep chasing me. But you notice he's gone. He stopped right up there by the tree. And see, he did that little emote. He's frustrated. He's still red. Now watch. You got to give him a couple seconds, and his red aura that he's got going on around him just turned white. There we go. So now he stopped after me. He's no longer after me. Now look at my bar down here on the right. I got a 300 bounty, and the white part is what my bounty actually is. The red part means that I am highly wanted. If a guard sees me, it's heat. Yes, there you go. He's going to run right after me. He's going to come after you. So this meter down on the bottom section right, the circle, that is something you really want to pay attention to. And now there are options you can to get rid of that. Let me see if I have any in my inventory.
Okay. I like to
do
just
not.
run into the underground when that happens, though, the refuge. Like when I
Yeah.
get caught, I just run to the refuge.
Okay, so
Now,
within my bank, if I go in here under consumables, oh, don't tell me I don't even have any in the bank. I must have taken them out of one of my characters. I don't have a pardon effect. Okay, I was going to show you the pardon, but apparently I have them all on a character. Probably,
counterfeit pardon edit.
yeah. It's a piece of paper that you get, especially when you're doing the
Not
Thieves
really.
Guild. They're non-tradable though. I don't know if you
Oh,
can
they're
put
not
it.
tradable?
Yeah, you can
I was
link it
gonna
though.
see if you can at least see it.
You can link it in chat, in the group chat, and then they can see what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't see it. How do I link it in the group chat?
/G, then hit enter and make sure in group chat, and then you open your inventory, right click it, link in chat.
Okay, so it's that.
Yeah, so what we got here is the counterfeit pardon edict. I always say effect.
That.
That's what happens, you
Oh,
got
I
lousy
thought it was
eyes, but
edit.
basically, yeah, edict, edict.
That's
Again,
only a small one though.
okay, now what we're looking at here is this removes $500 worth of bounty on one use. So if my bounty is 300, I use 500, it's going to take it all. I'm not going to get 200 change. It just uses it. It's gone. Now you notice that it has the name One Big Daddy and Arconis. Those are two of my characters. This is another add-on called Inventory Insight, which is showing you that that character has 1 in his inventory and that Arconis has 9 in his inventory.
So now you know where they are.
Yeah, so that's when I said they're not in the bank, they're on somebody. Well, there you go. There's on those guys. Okay. It just said you are now disreputable. That doesn't mean I did something wrong. What that means is down here on the bottom right, the circle, you notice that the red is disappearing. And the red is disappearing faster on me because of this. Let's go to Thieves Guild. I have 10.5 on the bar up here because I've done the Thieves Guild line and I put a lot of points in all the passives. Swiftly Forgotten is the one that's working there. Bounty is decreased by 92 after 3 minutes. Heat is decreased by 55 after 3 seconds. So you see, this is an important way to get heat taken off quickly. So
Help me do that.
yeah, the Thieves Guild is definitely something worth having if you're gonna steal. Now you
only
don't
have
have to max the bar out at 20, and this is why I use this guy to steal. And specifically for this video, he pickpockets better. He gets more blue items, more purple items, and more green items. My other guys will get a lot of white stuff. a few green
So,
and 1 or 2 blues. He
is
gets
that a
better
racial
quality.
passive?
Well, it's not that it's a racial passive, but I am using a Wood Elf on here, and you'll see down here, Stealthy reduces the detection radius in stealth by 3 meters. So this is something that's good for the Wood Elf. But if you're going to pickpocket, Cat is using
Me.
the kitty cat race, the Khajiits, and they actually have a passive because their sort of religion type thing is stealing, and it's their
It's
way.
not really religion. It's just cats are naturally stealthy.
Yeah.
So I have a passive called Stealthy. You can put a max of 3 points in it. Reduces your detection radius in stealth by 3 meters. Increases your damage done while stealth by 10%.
Yeah, see, we have the same passive. That same thing, Stealthy, is increase your damage done by 10%. So you've got the same
You were
thing.
talking about cut purse, though.
Yes, cut
Increases
purse.
your chance to successfully pickpocket by 5%.
Yes.
But the main thing of that skill is increase your experience gain with the medium armor skill line by 15%.
Yeah, so cut purse is something that if you're beginning and you want to, pickpocket, you can do it on any race, and you can see that I'm doing it with the Wood Elf quite successfully here. But I think in the beginning, my Khajiit was easier, but then I switched to this character specifically because I did the Thieves Guild line with my wife, and I noticed that, wow, it really made a difference because of the passives. Passives are key in this game, and because it's not only just those, there are lots of good passives other than Swiftly Forgotten. Haggling's another good one because what this does, their items that I sell to the fence are worth 7% more. Okay, so if I sell $100 green item, it's worth 107. So I'm making 7 extra gold just by having points in that passive. Clemency. That is the one that I showed you that was highlighted when the guard caught me, because I have a point in that passive in the right level. I don't remember which level you get it from specifically from the Thieves Guild, but that allows you to click on it and then the guard just leaves you alone and walks off, and then the next guard will ignore you even if you still have bounty. So that's a good one. And the timely escape is something that you notice that I can put a point in, I don't. It doesn't always... Now, I'm sure it probably works a lot, but trying to pay attention to where you see this, it says that you've got a safe foothold and you can get away from a guard easier. I've seen it a couple times, but I've just found that if you're quick enough and you know the routes to the place that you're stealing, there's no point in wasting a point. So in the Veil of Shadows, decrease detection range of witnesses and guards by 10%. So putting a point there is good because, again, with pickpocketing, another 10%, it all adds up. So that helps answer a lot of the questions you may have pertaining to how, but now the why. Why do you want to steal? Well, we kind of discussed it a little bit. We touched on that just a teeny little bit. Gold. You want the gold. You need gold for the game. You want to buy anything from one of the vendors or from the guild stores, it's going to cost you gold. The quickest way that I found, other than selling armor pieces with lucky drops, is always pickpocketing, always stealing. Now, they do limit you because you could just make millions in a day if you sat here for 12, 20 hours a day and you did this, but that's why they limit you, and I'm going to show you here in a second. Let me grab this last item from the scroll here. Okay, now look.
You want to come over here and loot these bodies?
Because of my sneaking, they didn't see me. I was pretty close, and I could have been seen. Now, where you at?
Somebody started a fight. I'm over by the water where the guy's fishing and the girl comes down.
Across. So she's over here. Now, I have a specific route that I do to max out my 140 items that I can steal in a day. And if you look right there, that was a guard. I don't know if you guys caught that. this guard right here, see walking, they will come and stand right here and look. And it kind of helps to pay attention to the routines of the guards, because if a guard sees you pickpocketing or stealing, then yeah, they're going to come after you. But yeah, see, because I wasn't in the general area, there's no bodies for me to loot if you're close
Oh,
enough.
you don't see him?
Yeah.
That's weird because sometimes I'm like all the way on the other side of the town.
Now
and I
you see,
don't get
you
it.
see this lady coming down. She's gonna walk down, and there's another trick that I use. People will pickpocket like this, but you can actually turn around backwards and look at yourself, and still pickpocket and still see people coming from behind you, so you don't get caught. Now, again, this may not be as easy for you. I can walk up to this lady and still remain stealthed. My eyes almost completely closed because of all the passes, because of the race. And it has nothing to do with what I'm wearing. Now, I was slow on the green, got it on the white, so boom, I got another bounty. Now, once that happens, they're going to be suspicious for a while, and they're not going to let you pickpocket again, even if my eye was closed, because I was caught. This is where the Blade of Woe comes in handy, because I can still Blade of Woe them and loot one more item from the body. But if I do that in this instance,
I
this
can
guy...
pickpocket them still.
Yeah,
so
she
if
can
you
still
made it
pickpocket
where
them.
Let your partner do it.
Yeah.
You'd still get an item while your partner
Now,
gets more items.
if
as
you
well.
don't have the Blade of Woe, you can just go off and come back in a little bit, and they will no longer be suspicious. Now she's going to walk up there, so I'm going to finish looting this guy. 80% Blade of Woe, boom. Take the third and last item from him. Oh, I guess he already took the third, because he's empty for me. Oh, and it also helps to keep your banker put away. Sometimes he'll get in your way and you'll accidentally talk to the banker when you're trying to steal something and you miss an opportunity. Now this guy is resting. I never get 100% on him. I'm going to be 70 and 90. 90 when it turns green. There we go. So I can always get one or two items from him. So there we go. I got two, and I'll try for a third. See? I just never have luck getting from him on that third item. And I always check the baskets. These guys, you can pickpocket, but since there's too many guys here, unless you have a lot of stealth, it's really hard. But this girl, we're going to take stuff from her. She walks down, and that should have been the second item. So we're just going to go ahead and Blade of Woe her.
Items can also help though, like your armor that increases stealth.
There are armor sets that allow you to have better sneak, and they're actually, I think there's a set here in Reaper's March. No, it's not that one. It's the other Night Mothers set. So, what is the other set? I can't recall what it's called.
Night Mother's Embrace?
Yeah, this is Gaze. So, Night Mother's Embrace, we will look up under Inventory Insight. I'll put in Night Mothers here. So, this is, it has the same name, but one is Night Mother's Embrace, one is Night Mother's Gaze. This is the Embrace set, and you'll see the fifth passive right here you get when wearing 5 pieces of this armor. Reduces the radius you can be detected while sneaking by 2 meters. Reduces the cost of sneak by 25%. So it's going to use less stamina to sneak, and you get 2 more meters of distance that you can be seen at. So the more meters you have that you can be less seen in, gives you the ability to walk up to people. Like when I was saying, notice how this guard's not seeing me. I can come right behind this girl right here and pickpocket her, even though there's a girl standing there. Beginners at this may not be able to do that because they don't have enough radius of sneak. Now, hopefully that makes sense. But now, because my eye is not completely closed, but we can still Blade of Woe her as such. and then because Kat was nearby, she should be able to loot that body. And 2 people can pickpocket the same person, but they're still going to run out of items.
Um,
See if she's suspicious right now. Let's see if she's empty. Nope, she still has an item.
because before I had the Blade of Woe, I would pickpocket stuff and then let you kill it so I could get the last item or something.
Yeah. And you'll notice that it says pickpocket smith. So she is a smithy, a smith. She's a blacksmith or woodsmith. It's not clothing. I'm pretty sure it's some kind of item. Now 60%. I still got it, but I'll blade of woe anyways. And people always ask me, well, if you got the 3 items, why didn't you blade of woe? Well, with having the passive, the blade of woe knife, you also get blood. You get tainted blood, which 10 of them can be turned into dried blood, which is one of the special items needed for crafting in the Thieves Guild style. So that's one reason to do that.
Well, they respawn faster than you can pickpocket
Yeah,
them.
and that's the other thing. If you just leave them standing there and you come back, they're still going to be empty. But if you blade of woe them and they're gone when they respawn, 9 out of 10 times they have all 3 items again. There's a few times that they won't have items that still be empty, but again, here's a wild item. But you know, I like to do it because I'm like to steal fast. Now this is fingerless gauntlets. You see this insignia right here? That means that it's just clothing and it's worthless. It's not. It's just like a cheap costume. They really have no monetary value. 3 coins. It's not worth taking up an inventory slot for him, so I don't steal those. This guy again, he's a difficult person to pickpocket, but because of my radius of sneak that I have, it's so high that there's people there, but still my eye is almost completely closed. So again, I am able to pickpocket him, while others may not be able to.
Though,
Now again, I got caught on that.
him, you can't kill him there, though.
Yeah, if my eye was completely closed, I could, but with it being partially open like that, I'm going to get caught. Now
The
here's
issue
another...
I run into, though, is I'll notice that I'm able to kill somebody, right? Because my eyes completely closed. Like,
Yeah.
certain animations will make me stand up and lose my stealth. So in the animation, it actually says I've been caught, even though I technically shouldn't have been caught. So I don't get that sometimes.
Yeah, because when you stand up, your radius of getting caught is gone, and if there's anybody that you can see, they usually see you. Now, this is a safe box. I'm going to hit E. It's just like the door. I can hit R, and I can force the lock and steal it. Right there. So, now moving, people are like, oh, you got to stay still, you got to be careful. No, because you can see here I'm following this guy, and I'm going to wait till it turns green. And then I'm going to pickpocket him on the bridge. Green, boom, got it. Now I got a lockpick. That happens. Sometimes you get recipes. Sometimes you get items that are worthless. I pretty much keep all the lockpicks. Pickpocket him again, and boom, we're going to blade away him on the bridge. Again, this may not work for some because we're like way out in the open. But you know what? It works for me. You got to build up to it.
There's nobody around.
Yeah, but still, sometimes just because we're in the open, I've noticed I've gotten caught on some of my noobs who don't have points in the passives or don't have the Thieves Guild line. Now, this guy, a lot of people don't know this. You come up to him, oh, what's wrong? I can't pickpocket him. Well, if you look all the way down at the floor, it opens up the window. So I'm basically looking down at the top of his head, and it's opening the window for me. So some of these guys are glitched, and this guy's glitched because he's right next to an animal. Now, you see right there? That was 90%, and I still got caught. But again, the water, as long as you are floating in water, they will stop chasing you. So see, right away, boom, red to white. He's now no longer an enemy, he's friendly. But now when I go to pickpocket him, he's going to be suspicious, and he's going to be like that for a while. But you can see I can still press X, Blade of Woe him, get like one last item out of him. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you, why are you stealing all the white items? That's only 40 gold. 40 gold. Lockpick's worthless. This is worth 40 gold. You can make so much money for stealing just blue, greens, or just blues. I know a couple of people that steal just blues and have their junk buster set up to where it trashes everything else, or puts it over here in the junk button, the junk tab. So, right now for this video, we're just taking everything. And I'm going to show you something here. Right here in the bottom window, you see that I looted the guar tallow candle, 1 of 1. I stole 1, I have 1 in inventory. Now, if I had more than 1, it would show you the stacked abilities there of the add-on. It would show you that I have more than 1, more than 2. Now, this add-on, this is fence data that's working over here as well, because we type in /FENCE, it will give me stolen items in my bag are 57. The value of all the items is worth 4,319 coins, and it's 3 hours, 46 minutes, 43 seconds left until the reset. Now that means at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, it's going to reset, and then you can steal again. So I could steal all this, be done now, and then in 3 hours I could steal again, and then I have to wait till 8 p.m. the following day before I can steal again. And that doesn't mean that you can steal. That's that item limit that I'm talking about. The item limit that only lets you steal 140 items. Now I heard some people tell me that you can get 200. I've yet to see how that's possible. Now you can see this door still unlocked because I forced the lock on it last time. But more than likely, the girls have respawned in here.
If you're lost, I'm happy to show you the way out.
Now, common etiquette is I could have walked right in and I could have stole that guy's chest
You are very good at this, are you?
because he was killing them, but he was in here. I'm not going to walk up to the chest and steal it from him.
So people don't always give you
Yeah.
the same kindness.
Yeah, some people don't give the same courtesy. That's just me, us. You know, he's working for it. That's kind of ripping him off. And then some people think, oh, well, I'm in here, I'm a thief, I'm stealing, so I stole it from him. Your way of thinking is your way of thinking. You know, do what you feel you need to do. You know, we're not going to pass judgment here. So now, without maxed out, we will go down to the Outlaws Refuge. And I'm going to show you the maximum of items that you can sell and that you can fence. And basically you're cleaning the item that's stolen, you're paying a fee, and then it now becomes unstolen. And it will go into your inventory if it's a craft bag item. If it's not, then it stays in your inventory and you can do whatever you want with it. Now, I do pick up items like recipes in diagrams and such.
This will be I.
Now, this is another way to get rid of your bounty right here. When you click on the fence downstairs, I can pay 69 gold and clear my bounty, but since it goes so quick, I'm not going to bother wasting. Now, these are all my stolen items, and you see how $200 items, I have 2 of them, and they're worth 214 gold, so I'm getting an extra 14 gold just by having that points in the passive in the Thieves Guild line. So now you can just hover over, this is the way I do it. I put my mouse on it, I click E, it sells it. Now I'm not going to sell the blueprint, the Orcish Shelf, because I may need to learn that on one of my crafters. So I skip it, go down, and I will sell until I see a number right here. The low number means that it's something that's not worth a lot of value, so that's something I'm going to launder. So I will do this all the way through. Now here's a 250 item that's worth 268, but you see here when I click on it, it's going to ask me sales final, are you sure you want to sell? That was confusing in the beginning when I was a noob. Now I just say yes because there's really no other purpose to that item other than selling. So I'm just going to jump through all these real quick. Oh, sold one of the small items because I wasn't paying attention. That happens when you're flipping through it. So, now again, this is not a full load. Now, see, these are items that I can launder. Now, what we're going to do is we're click on the launder tab. Now it's going to cost me 9 gold to own that blueprint, the orcish shelf. But one of my crafters made me know that. It's going to cost me 1 gold for this corundum. It's going to cost me 1 gold for lockpick, and it's cost me 9 gold for Northam's Tears, which are used in the highest level of crafting alchemy. So I like to have those all in my craft bags. So I was at 0. I've deposited all my money in the bank. So on this short little run of laundered items is 6 out of 140 in 1 day. Now we go back to the tab here for sell, and I've sold 51 out of 140 items, so I've made 4,394. Some people are like, oh, that's not worth a lot of money, but if you move that all the way to 140, you know, that's going to bring that way up. And if you're stealing just green or just blue items, that's really going to move it up, meaning you can make 50k a day stealing if you're stealing the high-end quality items. 50k a day. Now I got your attention. Yep.
Wait, so I only can do 130 of laundering and 130 of selling.
So that is because of this right here under World, under Ledgerman, Trafficker. I have 4 points in Trafficker, which lets me have 140 slots to sell. She needs 1 more point to move it from 130 to 140. But she,
Originally it was 100, right?
it starts out I think at 80, and then it goes to 120, and then it's 130, and then 140. And I have yet to find a way to make it 200, though I've had a couple people tell me you can. So unless there's something somewhere I've missed, or if you know, put it in the comments. Information like that is very useful.
So you said that was in the Thieves Guild points?
Yeah, no, the Ledgerman is the one that you're talking about. It's called Trafficker. Now, the Thieves Guild gives you...
yeah, I got 3 of 4.
The Swiftly Forgotten and the Haggling. The Haggling allows the items to be worth more money. Now, technically I have 3 of 4 points. I should go back and do some more questing on him so that I can get all 4 of 4 points and make the most amount of money per item. That would be the smart thing to do, but I haven't done the Thieves Guild on him in a couple years, at least.
Yeah, I'm only 14 Ledgerman.
So, I think we've answered all the questions. Can you think of any other questions you may have had when you were just starting to steal? I mean, we talked about outfits.
How do you get your Ledgerman up?
That's a good question. She's talking about the actual line here. I am maxed out at 20. Now, the way that you get that up is doing what we just did. You're going to steal, you're going to sell, you're going to launder, pickpocketing, and lock boxes, treasure chests, anything you have to pick, whether it's a door, a lockbox from like in a bank, or a treasure chest you find out in game. All those are going to give you experience. Now, if you really just want to get it up as quick as you can, the best way to do that is you find a place that has a lot of doors, you sneak, and you just keep picking the doors, because the doors don't go away like boxes do. So if you go through the door and you go through another load screen, or you run around the city momentarily and come back to that same door, if you've given it enough time or you've gotten enough distance, I've never exactly decided which is the one that does that, then you can pick the lock. Now, there is a place in Ordon in Skyreach that has like 3 doors that all need to be picked. I remember when I was doing this in the beginning, when I wanted to get that up, I just went and kept picking all those doors, and then I would run off while the doors moved.
Better have max lockpicks.
Yeah, that's when we're seeing lockpicks, and that's why you saw me keep the lockpick and pay 1 gold for the lockpick. Is that lockpick worth 1 gold? Well, if you want to buy lockpicks, they are a lot more than 1 gold. I don't remember where you buy it. I don't think it's just every merchant that sells it.
Lockpick?
Yeah, I think it's 5 gold too, because I don't know everybody that sells the lockpicks.
I've never seen anything being sold on character selling it for 1 gold.
Yeah, I mean,
because you find them everywhere.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at lockpicks, my inventory insight, I have 3,593 lockpicks. Is that a lot of lockpicks? But depends on how often you're going to break them. Now, when your skill level is lower, you break them more often. As it gets higher, they don't break as much.
Crud.
So I have a lot of
Shut
lockpicks.
up.
But there is somebody that sells lockpicks. I don't remember who it was. That's something you might have to Google to find out if that's the case. Otherwise, most of the
I
time,
think most vendors sell lockpicks.
yeah, you can just find lockpicks for sale in the guild stores. I wouldn't pay more than 5 gold each because I think that's what the store sells them for.
Well, since you can pick them up almost everywhere, it's
Yeah, you
really
pick
not
that,
worth
especially when you're
buying them.
stealing, you're gonna find them everywhere. But there is a vendor that sells them somewhere, and it might be in the Outlaws Refuge. And I'm thinking Gold Coast. I think one of those merchants in there. So it's probably actually we can probably just pop down to the Outlaws Refuge real quick and look at the merchant and see if that's where they were for sale. Now there are also potions a lot of people use. I don't use them, but a lot of people. There are. I've heard on the forums.
Rogue's Draught, and I think it's Roguish Escape Draught,
Yeah.
Draught,
Yeah.
and then there's Roguish Stealth Draught. So I have both of those right now, so I can actually link it in chat to you.
So this is a merchant down in the refuge. Let's see if she sells lockpicks. Yes, there's a lockpick. It's for 9 gold. So if you're going to buy it from a merchant, 9 gold. If you're going to buy it off of one of the guild stores, I wouldn't pay more than 9 gold. I would definitely look for half of that. I would say 4 or 5 gold each, or maybe 1 or 2 gold each.
Can you actually make those?
No, you can't make lockpicks. I think we did in the
No.
original Skyrim game.
The 2 things I linked,
Oh.
I don't remember if you can make it because I actually got those out of crown chests.
Yeah, you get those out of Thieves' Troves. So this is the Roguish Stealth Drought she's talking about, which increases your stamina regeneration, which helps you sneak. Grants Vanish, which makes you invisible for 11 seconds.
That's great if you're trying to flee.
Yeah, if you're trying to flee.
Have it on your hotbar.
Now, there are also potions. I think I have one. Now, movability, no. There are invisibility potions that you can make, and there's other potions that you can add. Now, you can, if you're a potion crafter or tri-stat, I don't know what they call it. It allows you to have 3 of the, what's the word? You can have 3 uses. One can be health, one can be health recovery, one can be invisibility. Now, some of them don't mix. It's called the tri-stat. I'll tell you in a second here.
Tri-restoration potion?
It's in the passives underneath alchemy.
Oh, you're talking about where you can put 3 ingredients instead of just 2, so you can have 3 effects.
Allows the use of the 3 reagents while mixing potions or poisons. It's a passive. It's called laboratory use. Now, he doesn't make potions, so I had no points in him. He's not my main crafter. He is my second crafter. People are like, you're second crafter? What does that mean? In the beginning, I wanted to be able to make light and medium armor, so he learned medium armor with all the stuff, and I had another guy that learned light armor with all the stuff, and then eventually I just had the one light armor crafter learn everything. Because it gets expensive when you're trying to learn all the motifs or motifs on the crafters. So now
well,
again,
in the beginning, you don't really have the points to do it anyways.
Yeah, I am using an add-on. This add-on is, cannot remember all the names since we have so many of them. It is Potion
Map Pin
Potion
is basically
Maker.
the best add-on.
Yeah, map pins is definitely one to have, but that's a discussion for another time. This is Potion Maker, because people are going to ask, why does your window look different? It's because this is an add-on. Now it allows me to just pick the trait that I want. You want speed, unstoppable, spell power, all this stuff. And look, I want to make an invisibility potion with stamina. I click that one, click that one. I click the Lorcan's Tears because I want the high solar potion. I hit search. It's not finding anything. Okay, why is it not finding
I don't
anything?
think it can use tears
Because
yet.
it can't do stamina. So let's take stamina out. Let's say just invisibility by itself. Let's search. So now essence of invisibility. This is going to give me vanish for 12 seconds. Now these are unknown because this guy has not crafted any of them. If I was on my potion guy, you'd see a lot more choices here, and that's why these ones say unknown. But I've made it on him at least once, so that's why it's there. But that's how you can get a potion of invisibility, which makes you invisible for 12 seconds. So if there's something you just absolutely gotta have, and I will give you a for instance right here. I'm pretty sure I've already got this item on this character, but I will show you. If you were stealing stuff for the Thieves Guild, this is an item right here. Now you can't see it because I've already got it, but this pot is something, it's that, actually I don't think that's even here, I think it's gone. So right here there's an item that you steal and you return to the Thieves Guild, and it gives you credit towards like the museums where you find all the items of the museum, where the Thieves Guild has these treasures that you go around and you try to fill. They're in a book there, and then that allows you to have that all done. And I don't remember what you get from that, probably a title. I obviously have not completed it. It has a lot of redundancy when you're doing all of the things. It gets a little bit of boring, a little tedious, because it's like you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. It seems like every patch they've got some other museum or some other place that has the items. Now we're doing Somerset, and Somerset has the relics, which is basically the same thing. You collect all these items and return them back to a building. Now that one I know for a fact gives you a title.
There's more museums?
Yeah. There's the Thieves Guild, there's Rothgar, there's the relics, and there is, I think there's one in Bardenfeld too. Someone was telling me the other day. I think that's what they said. So the same. It seems like every new DLC that comes out with has a new thing. Now you see right
What's the
here,
point of doing the other ones?
stealing again. I'm really close to a person. That's the benefit of all the passives and the experience lines. Oh, so see, I got caught by somebody, and it's this lady up here that saw me.
Wah, wah.
Because my eyeball was closed. I went to steal it. It opened up for a brief second. And that will happen, even though it shouldn't have, because she was not that close enough to even really see. But the game is not perfect, and what exactly it's going to determine how many meters someone is away. You know, you're talking about Coder's Nightmare. Okay, now again, I can just pop this open, hit R. Now it doesn't always work, but that allows you to get stuff out of a box quickly and not get caught. This is one thing that I should mention too. A lot of people pass up on. See these barrels all are stacked up all over the place? These barrels always have good items in them. The bags, you got to check everything. If you want to make the money, check everything to get the high dollar items, because you get 140 chances a day to make that money. And there's usually a box right here, and it's gone. Now, that was right in 100% because he's an easy guy to pickpocket. Some people are easier than others. And if they're a noble, they're really hard to pickpocket. Now again, I take items that some people think is just a waste, but I have crafters, and then I always give out the diagrams and the recipes. I send them to Kat, I send them to my wife. My sister also plays this game too, so you know, we're always trading recipes and stuff back and forth. Now you notice I pass on all the provisioning items because you can get those for free, you know, in delves all over the world. There's no point and paying 1 coin for items. Now, if you're low on crafting materials, see, like, here's a lockpick. Get it, pay 1 gold for it. And this right here, this is the manganese, which is used for crafting, I believe, in the orc style. Laundering that for 1 coin may be worth it because, you know, they sell it for 50 or 60 from the vendor. Now this girl is going to get on the wall, so instead of trying to go for a third time with her, we'll just blade of rower and just take what we got. That way she's out of our hair and she's not going to catch us. And again, you saw how quickly I'm now upstanding. That is the Swiftly Forgotten passive at work. Some people could be, you know, 30 minutes or an hour until they get rid of all their bounty gone, but because I have those passive active, boom. I got
But
caught
it goes
by that
down
girl.
faster if you're in the Thieves' Refuge.
Yeah. If you're logging off in the Thieves' Refuge, you're hanging out in the Thieves' Refuge, I've been told it also goes faster, but I've never seen an actual written documentation saying that it goes down this much at this speed. But, you know, I have, like I said, I have a route developed where I run around and I get everything. Some people know where all the boxes are. There was this box supposed to be there that wasn't there, which more than likely, since none of the boxes are where they're supposed to be, because another box is supposed to be right here, there's somebody else stealing. Sometimes it pays to go to a different location, come back, end up in a different instance. It depends on how serious you are. Some people don't want to take the time to steal 140 items. Sometimes they'll just make a round, come back a couple hours later, and log in later on and finish it up, or get a few. I like to try to get all 140 on 2, sometimes 3 characters every day. You know, if you want to have large quantities of money, this is one way to do it. Definitely, I mean, if they ever up that from 140 to, you know, 200, like they said, you know, that's an extra 10, 15K in the bank every day.
Stamina tunes for the win, though.
Oh, yeah. Because running, if you noticed, well, it says I log them all in, but my 3 characters I steal on are all Stamina Nightblades. I will have points in stealing for other guys when I have extra points. Now you see that I accidentally clicked on this girl right here, and that's because I had the clothing behind me blocking me, so sometimes it helps. Now I got caught. Why? Why did somebody see me? See, it's just the game is just a little weird. I don't really want to say glitchy, because that's not necessarily a glitch, because to try and code exact of how someone's going to catch you or see you, line of sight and all this stuff. Oh, like I said, it's a coder's nightmare.
Imperfect.
Yeah. You know, for a lot of games that they do have the ability to steal, you know, this one's pretty good.
I need to get me some of those high dollar counterfeit edicts or whatever.
Yeah. Now, what she's talking about, you get this right here. This is in my inventory. It's been in my inventory. It's the Grand Amnesty Edict or Edict. It removes 100,000 worth of your bounty. Now, that does not mean that it takes off 5,000 and then you have 95,000 left. I was told it's a one-use item. So I'll link that in chat so Kat can see what we're talking about. That's something you get from finishing the quest for the Thieves Guild. So that's a bonus.
I have yet to finish the Thieves Guild.
Yeah.
You want to go do the Thieves Guild so they know more about it?
Yeah, we can start a Thieves Guild video. But that's probably pretty much everything I can think of. We've talked about races. We've talked about different armors and sets of armors that help you be a better thief. And if you have any other questions, feel free to comment. We'll do our best ability. If you've made a mistake or you think you have better input, feel free to leave a comment. Input is always appreciated. We appreciate you taking the time to view the video. This is a long video because we were kind of going live on Twitch and doing the video as well. So we are going to sign off for this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.